Yeah, here we go, we got it.
Yay.
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were after.
What are you getting at, Wright?
I just realized something also.
What?
We've been saying he wants the disc just because it's like worth... This is just something actually. He wants the disc because it's worth a lot. Payment was due last year. What if he hasn't paid it yet?
Ah, that's why he's been calling in on his loans, because he didn't have the money.
He didn't have the money.
He just told them to bill it to him.
He's like, bill me, and then they're like, we're waiting on you to pay it off. And he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get killed.
He's like, oh shit, now I'm in debt.
This guy has this virus. He's gonna use it as collateral because he doesn't have money. So he's gonna give me this virus. I can sell it for several $1 million. And he's like, oh, I just won the lottery. Here's $100,000. No, poison.
Yep. What else would a moneylender be after the money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. Yeah.
What is that?
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
I guess the beard isn't the only part of His Honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
You're trying to suggest that the witness's motive was to get hold of that program.
Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Wright. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigray need money to the tune of $1 million?
No, Judge, you have to put your pinky finger to your mouth like this.
I have one hand, damn it, and it's holding a hammer.
Okay, put the hammer to your mouth then.
Grrr.
Perfect! You look amazing! In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, a Faggio, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery. Where did you get all this info? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Payment for these expenses was due in December of last year, and was paid in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tigray had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it.
Rebel! Hammer! Order!
Pizza!
Damn it! Say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright.
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini.
Did you say Cadaverini?
No, I said abracadabra.
Oh, okay then.
Bruno Abracadabra, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and the world's greatest street magician. Doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million that Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt.
Rebel!
On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't. Neither can I.
Lottery win.
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means.
It's crazy.
He murdered Glenn Elg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Ms. Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard to testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kuda.
Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept out of it.
But Mr. Armstrong knew all about it. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan.
Rebel! Order! Order! Silence, royalty!
You's put on a good show, Spiky. If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, create a witness, and frame someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. What? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Ms. Bird had no way out.
You impersonated me! What? Another one, Mr. Wright. Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Wright?
I want to point something out, by the way. Winston Payne was the prosecutor in the one where this guy pretended to be me. Not Godot. Not Godot.
Yep.
So I don't know if Godot... So here's a random thought. What if we say this and Godot's like, yeah, I watched it, I knew, because Godot's the sane one. He would have noticed.
Yeah.
I can just imagine Godot be like, we do this, and Godot's like, objection! He's right. Alright, I guess I show the paper badge.
Yep, finally. What on earth is that? Or an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me!
What? That's...
The truth.
But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I have ever seen.
Roar! Roar!
Rebel! Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man.
I guess he's just not aware of it.
Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Well,
Hey. Forget about it, yeah?
What?
I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir?
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know. That's right. Here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Yeah.
Mr. Cadeau is right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No! The badge isn't enough?
If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. T-Bay are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. Well, we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenn Elg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence what the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Yarg! Huh. Sucks to be you, Wright. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled, you got that? All I managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook.
As soon as this cross-examination is over, you are free to go, Mr. T. Gray. Viola or Gumshoe, taking bets.
Your Honor, sir. Oh, never mind.
Wait. Damn, that's a good pose. Detective.
Detective Gumshoe.
Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too. Oh, what is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive feat. It's nothing, is it?
Take this, prosecutors. You're not the only ones who can pull this trick.
What? What? Rabble?
Now we're outside.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab, which I stored in this lunch neckerchief. About the prints, pal, from this medicine's bottle. Oh, so did you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. Heh. You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, alright.
Oh, thank God. There was so much writing on the chance that he would just go, no.
Yeah, I thought that too. That's great. We got him to know. We got him now, Nick.
I want to put something out right now. Righto, you can still hear me, correct?
Yeah.
It says my internet's down.
What?
I have no internet at the moment, Righto.
Okay. I think it's lying to you. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage of the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenn Elg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, it really doesn't make any difference now.
Wait. He put the poison in the coffee via his hand. After which he touched the bottle.
Why did he touch the bottle? Did he?
His prints are all over it.
Here's the thing. It fell out of Glenn's pocket.
His prints are still all over it. He touched the damn bottle.
I know, but...
Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Oh, it's her. Oh my god!
Detective Gumshoe?
I keep thinking it's Viola.
Maggie!
Now you outnumber me again!
You've been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get you out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it.
He touched the bottle.
Yes, he did, but that doesn't change anything.
He also touched the poison.
So?
Poison is on the bottle.
They would have noticed that.
No, they didn't test for it. They were testing for fingerprints and what was in the bottle, not what was on the bottle. Rebel! Renewed, vigorous rebel! Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Rebel, shut up. I grant you a recess so you can prepare this decisive evidence you discovered.
Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But yous lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion.
No doubt. Given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. And maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that, the victim's...
Your Honor? Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What?
But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man, one person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
Oh, make him think it's the poison.
My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle. Is that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
Uh-huh.
A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains...
Potassium cyanide.
Mr. Armstrong! Potassium cyanide! This is the bottle containing the potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide.
The poison used to murder Mr. L, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle.
See, now he's gonna think we're an idiot.
And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. No, I'm expecting him to say, no, it was this bottle!
Yeah, it's one of those things. He either thinks we're an idiot, and he's like, oh, you got the wrong bottle. Or something like that.
Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
And how would you know that?
No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash. Don't look nothing like it.
Huh. Ravel?
Got him, at last. What? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle... Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you, people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Godot. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details.
Like what the frickin' bottle looked like.
For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle of potassium cyanide was in. Arrgh. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You just don't know who you was messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer, it was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
Up. Looks like a Wolfman thing going on, don't it? Well, what's going on?
It looks like a blackout.
Well done, Wright.
Thank you, RoboCop.
I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch your caged prey. Yeah, that was kind of a lackluster breakdown, to be honest.
He shut the power off with a scream!
I mean, that part was cool, but his character didn't change much. Right, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Thank you, Dave, for that written line. Prosecution will be sure to take care of Mr. Tigray, won't you, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of murder of Glenn Elg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was.
And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigre is truly a frightening criminal. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there.
Godot.
Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds a defendant, Maggie Bird.
Hang on, I need to grab something.
God damn it, this is the tense part. Alright, I forgot you do that.
It was all the way on the other side of my desk.
That is all. Court is adjourned.
He didn't slam the gavel down.
Alright, hold on.
Thank you. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court Defendant, let me number 1.
Mr. Wright,
I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick, in the doorway.
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal.
Wait!
Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah, congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh, well... Well, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Wait up, detective. Just ran off.
Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya's right. Should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. On that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. Give her a little present to celebrate her freedom.
Wheaties.
How about the box of Wheaties?
Yay!
Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
You said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know?
Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? It was one of the shortest ones.
Is it okay if I eat this now?
Wheaties!
So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good.
Wheaties!
Weenies.
So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. So has the box. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start, and she'll get accused in the next game. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. The end. And we unlocked... Turnabout Beginnings.
Oh, it's another flashback episode.
Yay. Yeah, let's save.
I feel like we did a lot better in that case, because I remember our last ones in the last game, we were stumbling around a lot, just trying to just trying to figure out what we needed to do next to figure out what we were going to do for the case. And this time we just predicted all of it, and we're just like, this is what we need to prove. This is what we need to prove. It probably was this, and then both of us post scenarios that could have been it.
Yeah. Also, I totally haven't been last game I totally wasn't showing off these pictures. When you beat the case, you get a little picture.
It looks cool.
Next time, we'll be taking on Turnabout Beginnings. And this is the second to last case of the game.
Well, yeah, I assumed there were 5.
Yeah, just making sure people know. It's not like last game where there were only 4. So, I have been Max Cadaverini. And I've been more characters this episode than I've ever been. If you don't count the characters who appear in every case, I played all but 2. Because you played Chef Guy and Maggie. I played Viola, Tigray, Old Man.
Yeah, for once, you actually, I think you got equal or more characters than I did introduced.
In terms of newly introduced ones, yeah, though you still voiced more because you voiced 1, 2, 3 characters in the court, and I voiced 1, and you also voiced Gumshoe. So.
Yep.
So you
the court is still mostly me.
We need to have a case where I voice literally every character except the judge, basically.
Yeah.
We need next time Winston Payne shows up, I need to voice all the witnesses. That's how we do this. That's how we solve it. And ending off with the fear hiccup. I've been Max Cadaverini and Tigray and whatnot.
And I am Rhino Armstrong.
You're Renault.
Renault Armstrong.
And we'll see you next time. But until then, you're an all-star. Whoosh. Boom, boom.